So for everyone that's in class, just a quick update, our lunch sponsor, for lack of better terms, flaked. So we will have pizza delivered here in just a little bit, probably closer to 12:30. So we're hoping it'll be kind of a good, what?
I was like, oh, that's me.
Oh goodness. So today we're talking about different ways, marketing, branding, all that. So we've got 4 awesome agents. So Madeline and Donna will be up here first. We're going to talk about pop buys and how all those work. And then we'll have Maggie and Mariana talking about how they handle social media and marketing their business in that way. Yes, over there already Instagramming. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to you guys to go ahead and get started. So you already have your mic, and here's another one. Like I just found you.
You're the winner, 10.
There's nothing to share.
Good afternoon. For those that don't know us, I'm Madeline Begley. And this
Donna
is Donna
Lebo.
Lebo. And we started doing pop buys seriously in December together. We had always kind of done them apart, and then COVID hit and nobody wanted you on their doorstep or anywhere near them. So we just kind of had to rethink things. So the first thing we did was a December pop buy. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but we decided. Everybody know what pop buy is? That is where, so a pop buy is where you literally pop by your client's house or somebody in your sphere that you want to market to, and you leave something for them, usually on their doorstep. Do you ever ring the doorbell?
No, normally you don't, because honestly, you're doing it to a lot of people. So you really just want to pop by. Like what I used to do years ago is like I would do apple pies during Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And that's when you may ring the doorbell because you want to see them and everything else like that. But this is a little different what we're doing.
So I personally didn't ever want to ring the doorbell because I didn't want somebody to be scared that I was at their house expecting to come in without warning and their house wasn't clean. So I would just text them right after I drop something by, sometimes take a picture of it, just.
It's a reason to follow up with
Everybody
them.
wants a picture, and say, hey, just drop something off at your house. I was thinking about you. Hope you're having a great day. So in December, we decided to do wrapping paper. And the other thing about our pop buys is we like for them to be inexpensive.
Dollar
We're
store,
all
Dollar
about
Tree.
saving money. So Dollar Store had all kinds of wrapping paper, and we did a little tag through Leverage Plus. Does everybody know what Leverage Plus is?
Right here.
Right here. Y'all, these were
On
15
cue.
cents each.
Seriously on cue.
The cards were 15 cents each, and we put our business cards on one side, and we put this little thing that says, here's to wrapping up 2020. And we did that, and I actually added Scotch tape. So it cost me $1.25 because you would get like 4 Scotch tape, and you just drop it at their door. And y'all, we get feedback from all of our clients. It's the coolest thing, or in the sphere and everything else. And they say, thank you for doing that. I needed wrapping paper.
I mean,
Or,
they
"Thank
acted
you."
like you gave them $100 gift, you know, and this was $1.15. Because if you do cards, you get 100 for $15, or the 15 cents each. And the reason we put our business card on the back is because they might hang on to it, and it always has our information.
And this one does them very quickly. And it's so cool. And we just, hole punched and tied ribbon around. But y'all, Leverage Plus is such a big help to us. I'm telling you, we do these every month now. And we're having a lot of fun, and it's a good reason for us to follow up with our clients. Just want to make sure, did you get it? Everything else like that. And people are they are so appreciative. We're cracking up. We're like, what did we drop off? What did we mail out? And stuff like that. But we dropped off the wrapping paper, and then we rethought about it.
We rethought because honestly, that was horrible.
88 of these I did, and it took me a long time. And my clients are not just in a little box. They're in Fort Worth, Denton, all over, and it was a lot. So we became a little smarter.
So we decided, how can we reach a lot of people, but not have it take a ton of time? Do you want to show your stuff?
So what we did is we made these cards. Okay, this month, this is what I'll tell them what we're doing this month. This month, we're mailing packets of lemonade. Okay, and the lemonade was
24 cents. a
24
piece.
cents each. And I bought all the lemonades out in all of the Walmarts, I have to tell you. And where, I don't have that one.
I
Oh,
do. You
okay.
know.
So I ordered these online. These are envelopes and they have cards. I really don't use the cards, but we just like to have colored envelopes, different things like that. We printed up these cards that say,
Stay cool in this hot real estate market. Text or call, I can do it all for your real estate needs. And then my name.
so a packet of lemonade, 24 cents, cards, 15 cents, stamps are 49 cents. And we mail them out. And I mail them out to 150 past clients, Sphere, everything else like that. And y'all, I gotta tell you, it's really been fun. In March, we did, where's the March one? Okay, no, oh, in March, we did one that says, I'm so lucky to have friends like you. Good luck, Donna. And we mailed lottery tickets to everybody in the same envelopes. And so I did green that month. Then I just decided to do all kind of different colored envelopes. But really, y'all, I mean, it takes me, how long does it take us to stuff an envelope, seal it, put a stamp on? And I was hand addressing all of the cards and I still hand address, but I'm also printing up labels. So y'all, I mean, and people are so darn appreciative. And we mailed a lottery ticket. Last year when I did this, a couple people won like $20. This year, nobody won. And they all texted me and said, Donna, what happened this year? But it's kind of funny.
Is that something Lovers Plus can help you out with mailing if you have this stuff?
I don't know if they'll help mailing. I don't know.
We do mail postcards and stuff like that. We can print on envelopes. We have done that. It's the kind of custom order basically. But
you're not here to stuff envelopes.
yeah, no, we don't.
No, I just meant like maybe adjusting envelopes or something.
Yeah, so we can kind of do it as like a print only order and we'll just put it on the envelopes. So we have done that before. We just don't do all the stuff.
Y'all take advantage of Leverage Plus. I mean, it truly is. I think it's amazing. And we did something for Valentine's Day. Madeline and I went to, where'd we go? Dollar Store, and we got little packs of Hershey's Kisses. And it has a little hole at the top. And so we tied a ribbon, put our card in.
That was the last pop by we did because we were trying to beat the ice storm.
Right. Oh, that's
Do
right.
you remember? And that's when we decided never again, we're mailing from
And
now on.
one of my clients called me. She said, Donna, the ice is melted and so have the Hershey's Kisses. I guess I had put them and then the ice storm hit. And she said, that was the cutest idea. However, and then we put Happy Valentine's Day. You are the heart of our business or heart of my business. So there's,
It's just about people thinking about us and remembering us. And we've gotten a referral almost
Oh.
every single time we've done this. Maybe that person isn't going to do something, but they know somebody. And each time the business card's on
Yeah.
the back.
it's been, I mean, it's been great. And these mail Popeyes have just made a huge difference. Along with, mailing out birthday cards to clients and everything else, but it's just another way for us to touch people.
And something that we did last spring, we were thinking about doing at the end of summer was we did, a little Canva invitation and we texted it to all of our clients / Sphere, invited them to Sonic a certain day in between a 2-hour span for a free drink that we'd pay the drink. So we arranged it with the manager of Sonic and he gave us happy hour prices, which is half off. And they would just have to give our name and they would come and pick up their drink. And even if somebody can't come, you've reached out to them, invited them, and it's another thing you can post on Facebook about how people had fun.
And it was outside, y'all. It was so much fun. We had teachers, nurses, moms. I mean, we just had,
We did
we
it,
probably had
yeah.
like over 30 people.
Mhm.
And it was really cool. And,
And it
the
was
pictures.
inexpensive, but we got to touch tons of people, inviting them to this Sonic, party that we were having.
And then last year, no, 2 years ago, when we did the pictures, family
Mhm,
pictures, we did another thing together, family pictures. We hired a photographer to come here to the office and we invited anybody to do their holiday cards, the pictures for their holiday cards. And we had some people and we had food and it was just, I mean, we're getting a lot of feedback and people are saying, y'all are so creative. And we're like, we just kind of brainstorm and come up with ideas.
And
But it's
even if they
doable.
can't come, it's a way to touch them. The way they think that we're fun, we're doing something that probably other agents that they know aren't doing. Anybody have any questions?
what are y'all doing like next month? Like, what's your-
I was gonna ask how often do you do it?
We do it, we've decided to do
Monthly.
it monthly, just especially with this market that we're in, just to keep in front of everybody. We haven't decided yet 100% what we're doing.
And we
for
may not
next
do
month.
July 4th because it's right here, we'll do
Yeah.
something, and then something about back to school. I mean, we just kind of brainstorm and come up with creative ideas, and we have a lot of fun.
How long would you say it takes to execute from like when you decide on a plan to then going and buying 500 lemonade packets, getting the cards?
Well, that's the whole
printed?
thing. We don't do 500.
Well, okay, but
I
I
do.
mean, I don't want you to think you have to do 500. Pick your top, whatever you want to do.
Top 20, top
But how
25.
many is, to go and buy the things or?
Well,
source
it
them?
took me a little longer because I had to buy 300 because I was buying them for someone else. 5 minutes right here. No, I'm just teasing. She'll
Yeah,
get your
that's
cards back to
okay.
you very quickly. When I hand address them, it takes a little longer, but if I do labels, it's not that, and you just stuff them. I mean, you're stuffing.
I do
this
it on
and
my
this.
downtime in
Yeah.
the evenings when I'm watching TV,
Exactly.
so I just don't think about it, and I have it on my calendar to do it. Like, it's not just, maybe I'll do it next month, maybe I won't.
Couple
I time
hours.
block, and to me, it's lead gen.
Mhm.
It's a way to touch people. For Mother's Day,
Oh,
we sent out to all of the moms. It was, we made a card and it had a QR code on it that they could take to
So cute.
Starbucks and get a free drink on us. And I had set up a gift card in my Starbucks app that's what that was dedicated to. And I had so many people
oh, that was
text
so
me a
cool.
picture of their drink or
Mhm.
them with their drink, thanking me. And we put a date, it's from this Sunday to next
Right.
Sunday. It was a week long. And that was how we could control, how many people did it.
And people were just, oh my gosh, this was the best thing. And
Mhm.
y'all, and we texted it to them. So it's not, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just really, it's just touching your clients and continue to do that. I think That's it.
Yeah, and honestly, it does not cost that much. And this is my marketing budget.
Mhm.
I'd rather do this than pay for cold leads that probably won't end up using me, and I'll spend hours and hours chasing them.
And these are people that already know and love us and have used us. And,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, the feedback and the leads that not leads, but the feedback and the business
Referrals.
that we've gotten from it has been amazing.
How do you pick, like, obviously y'all have been in the business a long time, so you've got a lot of people.
I'm doing 150 people and I kind of just pick my, I guess, closings, that I've had over the last couple of years, clients and people that I want business from. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that maybe they're moving, not moving, or maybe he got a job or different things like that. I just kind of put a list together. I mean, there's no,
And to me, it's local. So if somebody's moved out of state, they were my client, but they moved out of state, I'm not sending this to them.
see, and I still do because with 3 of my clients that have moved out of state, they still have a good sphere here. And they just said, I was so helpful and they preferred business to me. So it kind of just,
Yeah, you just.
you just pick. I'm just picking and choosing. But both of our businesses, a lot is based on referral, past clients and everything like that. So this is just to people that we, stay in contact with, but it's a whole lot better than buying leads, a whole lot less expensive than buying leads. And it's just people that you already know and they already trust you.
And I've been shocked, even some clients, how quickly they've moved after I've helped them buy a home. So don't think, oh, I'm not going to send it to them. They just bought a home. Well, first of all, they're your cheerleader. So they're going to be most likely to refer you to somebody else. And you never know when they have a life change and they might actually want to do something. And it's just always reminding, because they get inundated by realtors. They know a realtor, but you just want to be special.
And y'all, we're here to help, anybody be a resource. You picked a great office to be in and we'd like to help you guys.
So you
But-
guys are okay with us using that limited 8,000?
You can use anything you want. Well, and that's the whole thing is Dawn and I share, our spheres are different. Your sphere is different. There's enough people to go around. I want you to be successful, and we design it in Canva. Does everybody know what Canva is?
Yeah.
So we design it in Canva and then download a PDF and send it to Mackenzie.
Use her. She's so, I'm telling you, they're so good. And she'll help you. I mean, if you have questions.
Yeah, we can also, like, everything they're talking about, we can design it for you. Like, if you have an idea and you're like, I just don't know how to make it on paper. We can design it for you, and we even have a marketing plan service. Sorry, words are hard. So we can kind of help you lay out the content and some ideas, whether it's postcards, business cards.
Not just do what they're doing, but like 2 weeks behind
They
them,
do
like,
so
whatever you
much
print for
here,
them.
guys. Wait, what?
I said, whatever she prints for you, just print for me 2 weeks later.
Will you print the one that has my name on it?
Don't change the name.
We kind of do that with the marketing plan. So yeah, we do have kind of themes or I'm trying to. Where's our
Y'all, they
marketing
will
at?
help you
She's on
so
vacation.
much.
Thank God you're really functioning.
Here, I'll talk and you move the hands.
Yeah, but it's like Madeline will place an order and then like 4 of the other friends will place the same.
Yeah,
order.
because I do it for my mastermind group. So I'm like, here, get used to this one. And I just change out the names. You want me to help you? Just text me, email me, I'll help you do it.
Seriously, guys, do it. But you've got to be active, follow up. You've got to do it.
And
Don't think.
the key thing is to stay consistent with it and to have a system, right? So you guys both said that when you were, now it's different because you're not dropping things off, but when you were, you would always text and follow up. And I found that same thing when I was at Popeyes. That's a part of the system is following up and making sure that they've got it. And that is the touch. It really, it's not just dropping it off, but the engagement afterwards.
And that's it. And we follow up when we mail it out to make sure they got it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what did you think of that? You know, or text them and, you know, have you gone to Starbucks yet? You know, happy Mother's Day or whatever.
And now they look forward to getting a bright colored envelope because they know it's not a bill, you know, and it's going to be something
Well,
fun.
That's smart.
No,
And when we did do Popeyes, we did it quarterly.
Mhm.
So now we can do this more often and it's not a pain for us
And we're still gonna do Popeye, you know,
for certain things.
for certain things.
But not many.
Like Thanksgiving or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done
Yeah.
pies. I've mailed out banana breads to people. You know, I mean, there's so much to do, but just stay in touch with your clients.
Any questions?
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys want to the
Sorry.
No.
yeah, no.
Forgot.
Well,
I'm
telling you,
keeping it.
because when I
It looks
started,
good on me.
when I cut
Yeah.
at night, I almost took it with me. Like 2 steps in, I was like, Mackenzie, take this. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's almost that person. Okay, everyone on Zoom, our pizza's here, so we're gonna take like a quick 5-minute break before we're gonna get pizza and food. So you guys can use that time to like run to the restroom if you need to. And then for you guys, everyone, pizza is here, so help yourself. We're gonna take like a quick 5 minutes to get your pizza and get seated. But that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
This is something we
This is it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely start out with stuff.
I can start with the questions if you want to start.
I didn't recognize you. Yeah. So I
Start with the question.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to start with
She's got it pre-recorded, you know what I mean? She's got video recording. She'll come in and talk about she'll do that. If you need a plan. I wanna do that, and then another.
So that's what we're.
Actually, maybe need that.
Well, it is good.
One of our marketing grant is probably one of our mission. So yeah. Go to the side, that's a great one. Pricey.
Idea for one.
My husband asked why I'm still working at night. I got issues.
See, and things like that, like I'm on TikTok, so I see the trends, if there's a trend that someone can do like, and like, I didn't see other visual that were.
No, I
something.
didn't
I just thought of like, what do I have an issue, what's the issue? And it was just something, yeah, literally was like, why are you still working?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good. And
And
then,
sometimes though, you can just, this is a great trick I'm gonna share, so you can record the video and do the text.
Did you
later.
check?
So you record like the, I got issues, and you don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing, but then later on, you go and it comes to you, and like make one.
I have like a funny idea. Me with my fingers and like maybe not in the car.
She's giving me a discount code, so $147.
Like listen to Lizzo in the car, like listen to music without her in the car, and then like listen to kids talk when they're in the car, like that. Like one video, you like sing like Lizzo, and then someone is like, please sing along to the kids talk with Lizzo. Which, because it says like listen to the same language, but it's not the song. That's what I think. Could have had a good friend.
it would be like
She walked into church one day, and she was a camp or something, and she heard it was okay. She was like,
what in the world? Yeah.
also have the Lizzo, the kids all heard of Lizzo.
And yeah, that was me all the time, like teaching, like big classes stuff.
I'll let you know if you're printed or anything.
So when she heard it, the real
Right now, and then if I'm updated ones, that's totally fine.
those should not go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. My number's still the same. We have our like
Yeah.
added.
Right now, we're, definitely helping generate. That's that.
So if you guys want to sit close, one of you can wear a mic, and then I'll wear the mic to ask questions. And then we'll get some fun with it.
I saw you guys wearing this, and I was like, are they charging me the steps? Like, I forgot, I didn't know what was happening.
Yes, no, but don't go in the bathroom like Jim.
Yeah, right. Is it on already? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, wait, I was gonna say.
Wait,
Is this recording?
it is. Yeah, I was like, wait, is it not?
It should be, you're maybe recording it to the Zoom.
Which is fine. Where are the controls at the bottom? I don't know how to.
Go back into it. Do view. Use the Zoom.
There we go. I'm just happy your social media up right now. I can switch back between the two. All right, if everyone wants to kind of settle down, we're gonna get started again.
They can probably hear us.
I guess I'm staying on that side.
What?
So I guess I'm like standing on that side. I don't like. Okay. So now we're jumping into the social media portion of the class. So we've got two rock stars up here. You guys both have really good social medias, slightly different though, different styles, I would say. So we're gonna kind of talk about, I have a few questions. We're gonna do kind of a question and answer style for each of them, and then they're gonna jump into a couple other things, okay? Let me get to those questions.
Yeah, let me talk about the VIP thing, because it's going off like what Donna and Madeline
yeah,
were
do that
talking
first.
about. Is we actually do, I do like a VIP group. So like she was saying, like, or they were saying, like, pick like your top people. So we actually have like a VIP Facebook group. It's private. So like nobody can get in it unless you're like a past client or someone who like refers us business. Right now we have about 100, and I actually do take people off as, you know, relationships change. But it's okay. You want to keep it
You
one
are
of
the
those.
weakest link.
Yeah. Well, you want to keep it like small. You don't want 5,000 people in your
They're gonna
VIP. They're
share.
no longer VIP, right? So having that and doing some of the things that they were talking about, you can do like the little copy thing just to your VIP, right? Or you can do some of these pop buys just to them, or like giveaways. That's all kind of like pop buying. You could do giveaways just to those sphere, but you're loving on that sphere, those 100 people, or it started off at 15 people. You're loving on those people, but you could do it virtually too through a VIP group. So that's what I do.
Do they know that they're in a VIP
Yes.
group? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we tell them like your VIP Modern Nest Real Estate Group, like they get, as soon as they close, we have like our post-close system. One of the emails is you can join this group, or we invite them or something like that. So usually, and it's really just the people I guess I'm friends with on Facebook, because some people I'm not, my past clients, I'm not friends with them, but we still invite them and they will get into it. And yes, we are like heavily, we talk about that. Yeah. Because we want them to know like they're special, right? So.
What else do you do the VIP group on Facebook? Since that is social media, let's kind of dig into that.
Yeah, we do the giveaways. I post at least once a week. We put like a home tip of some sort. We do fun little like interactive, like I think who was talking, oh, Laura was talking about this. I'm like, I just heard this today. Like quizzes, like post your, I think we did one. I'm a huge Friends fan and they all know that. So I posted like a little thing that was like, you could create your friend's themed house or something. I don't know, like what house are you? Are you Phoebe, Monica, whatever? So we're doing like engaging things for them to engage on, because it's not just about real estate, because these people have already bought or sold a house with me. They don't need to buy another house tomorrow. But it's getting them to interact so that way they are seeing those posts, and it's part of the algorithm to see it in their news feed. So just fun stuff too.
Awesome. Okay. So with both of your social medias, when you were getting started, did you kind of create like a plan for your social media? How often you were going to post, what you wanted your brand to be, your theme? Did you kind of think about that ahead of time, or did you just jump right in?
In the beginning, mine was all over the place. Like I started this from scratch, and I had my personal one and then business. But I was posting consistently. Then, but I was just like getting ideas from other people. But posting consistently, I was still good at in the beginning. I just didn't really have my brand, I guess, at that point in time. And then COVID hit, and I had all this time to, you know, focus on my brand. And now, I mean, everything is uniform. I kind of figured it out along the way.
Do you have like a set number of times you plan to post each week? Do you stick to that?
So I try to post like 3 times. I used to post like 5 days a week. I do try and get on stories like every day though. So.
How about you?
Yeah, same thing with Maggie, where at first I was all over the place. I didn't know like what my brand or what my image looked like. And I realized how important that was to have like some sort of aesthetic, especially Instagram. Facebook's a little bit different. So if you decide to get into Instagram, which if you decide to get into anything, get into Facebook before you get into Instagram. If you haven't specialized in Facebook, like gotten really good at that, then don't worry about Instagram. I don't know, it's a totally different thing. But if you do Instagram, you definitely have to have like an aesthetic, because you know all the photos have to look pretty or whatever to get people to want to stay on that page. But we definitely found a system where it made it, you know, I didn't want to have too many of, too many of my face all at once. We'll do like one with my face, and I'll do one that's like text, and then one of a house. So it's like you kind of come up with your plan. Yeah, so you see like every page or every photo. And then you can see it's very airy and light. Like you got to have some sort of like aesthetic again that goes with how you want your overall page to look. And we post every day now, but we did it at the beginning. We started I was posting like 3, like Maggie said, at least 3 times a week or something. And then stories I'm in every single day. Yeah.
One of the questions, I don't think it was on here, but we should talk about, you guys both have business specific Instagrams and personal Instagrams, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. And you find that helpful?
So people say not to do that because it's then you're managing two different accounts. So this is our business. I mean, where I'm trying to brand myself as Modern Nest Real Estate Group and not just Mariana. So I have a business page for that reason, because then it's like, scalable, I guess. But then my personal is more just my personal. And that's why I don't really want to show my personal, because it's more just like pictures of my cat and me, and which is great.
Yeah.
People love, but I don't post a ton of my business on there. So I do try to pull some business into it, but not all business.
But you do pull personal onto your business
Yes.
a little bit. Yeah. Because I
So
mean,
some of these posts you'll see is me, and it's like a little about me, like being a Friends fan and stuff like
and
that.
even on their stories, like we'll see your cat
Oh,
sometimes,
yeah.
you see your husband in stories.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing is there's just, if you're going to do it, there needs to be a balance of both on your
Yes.
business one, or if
Yeah.
you're not going to have the two separate ones, then make sure again you have a
Yeah.
balance.
And same thing with Facebook. And I heard this somewhere, and this is kind of my theory, and it's not like I stick to this 100% because it's a little sporadic, but your business should be like 75% business, 25%, and maybe not that much, but like, let's just say 80% business and 20% personal. That should be your business, and your personal page should be 80% personal and 20% business. You do not want to be posting all business on your personal, because people will not follow you for that reason. So there has to be a balance, or you can post to your business and then share to your personal, because the goal is to get them to come to your business page where you're allowed to talk about business more. So I think that's kind of more the goal too with social.
Absolutely. Would both of you consider social media part of your lead gen?
Yes.
Yes, and especially, I mean, it's not like my main lead gen, but I would say showing up on stories and posting all the time, showing what I'm doing, mixing business with personal, I guess, lets my sphere know like what I'm doing. And then I get eventual referrals through social media, I guess,
Absolutely.
just because it's my
Mhm.
sphere and then
Mhm.
past clients. So say it's more of like a leverage.
Yeah.
Just showing up.
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, most of the business I get through social are people who know me, but I don't call, text them all the time,
Right.
right? I should be. But they know I'm in real estate because of social media. Like, they'll start the conversation there. And I actually now right now I have one under contract where I had no idea who she was. She reached out to me on Instagram, wanted to buy a house. She's pre-qualified. And I was like, all right. But she was following us for a while. So she was building like that connection with me through social media, and I didn't even know it. So now we're getting it as like a lead gen source that way too. So,
Absolutely. I think that's the goal really, is to
Yeah.
not just have sphere, but then eventually it's grown to where you can
Yeah.
get those leads that are outside of your sphere. And that kind of feeds into, is it a way to grow your sphere and get leads from new people, or is it a way to really just kind of stay in touch with people who already know, like, and trust you?
I said both.
for me, it's more about touching my sphere or keeping up with my sphere. Like, I know you can like pay for leads and stuff through Facebook advertising, and certainly there's very successful people that do that. I just have, every time I boost an ad and I pay to try to get leads, I don't want to follow up with them as much as I want to follow up with my sphere. So that's maybe not my thing, but it's not that it doesn't work, and you should certainly do that if that's what you want to do. But it's more to like stay in touch with my sphere. Yeah.
But you were saying you see it as a way to also to get like grow your sphere
Right.
and to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
your leads.
For
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah. And I had one of my brother's friends from high school reached out to me, found my email on my Instagram, emailed me, and was like, my parents are looking, to buy a secondary home. So it's just more like,
Natural.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it does. I think
But it's your
perfect.
sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sponsored posts. So you said you don't do it as often. I feel like I've come across your
know,
your sponsors like show up
I-
on mine. I might screenshot it and
Yeah.
text it to you. Hey,
I'm
girl.
like all over the place with those. I haven't done them recently, almost said recently and lately at the same time, like mix those words. But no, I mean, I don't really boost that.
Yeah. I'm worried about, I don't know. I'm more about building the relationship than the ads.
Naturally.
Like, we do some targeted ads to neighborhoods, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my clients I'm friends with on Instagram.
A question from the audience.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Marissa.
How do you, how are you guys treating, I mean, because I know we all face this, like, we're probably like 50% people in the business, 50% are sphere, like people, and we get like, I mean, on any given day, I'll get a new inspector, and you're like, I don't even know them else. And then I'll look and I see that we have mutual friends, and I'm like, I'm not looking for a new inspector, I'm quite happy.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like, well, but the new inspector might be new and then decides that he's really not cut out for this, and now we're friends, like, how, like, that, $1 million question.
yeah.
And I know,
I
I
know.
know. On the spot, because we've got a lot of new people, you're like, hey, I'm
So-
gonna go at her, I'm like, don't take it personally, I'm trying to manage.
Yeah, no, on my, well,
I
So
Oh my-
know,
wait,
that's a
let me
hard-
repeat the question for the people on Zoom. So
Right.
Zoom, the question was, how do people on social media handle being added by vendors? Pretty much, that are maybe outside of our preferred vendor list, or just vendors that come across you on Instagram. And that definitely happens. So you guys
Yeah.
can,
Fellow realtors.
Well-
I mean, I'll just throw it out there.
well,
Oh.
Instagram, go ahead. Like, that's fine. You can have an unlimited amount of people follow you on Instagram. Facebook business, as many people want to follow, that's fine. I don't mind it. On my personal, like adding people as a Facebook friend, I probably have like 500 requests right now. And I don't like add everybody. And that's because I do want to, like, I may know of them, but if we've never talked, like, why do you want to be friends with me? Like, so let's talk in first, and then I want to be friends with you, right? So
Maybe.
I do not add vendors that just randomly add me. And even if we have mutual friends, I just don't add them because, and it's nothing against them. I'm just like, build a relationship with me first, and then we can be friends on Facebook. That's how I see it. Because you can only max out at 5,000.
It's that
Right.
fine line
Yeah,
of-
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But business, like, that's fine.
Instagram wise, anyone that
Yeah,
requests,
anyone
I haven't
can.
open, so I mean, your business
It's
profiles are
public,
public, so
yeah.
same thing, my profile's public. If it's a vendor and they want to follow me, and I've had some that will follow me and then they'll engage a little bit and then they eventually will message and say, hey, I do photography. I'm like, wonderful, great. I'll keep you in mind. I've got a lovely list of preferred vendors at my office who all contribute to my office and who all do great work. So I just kind of throw
Yeah.
that out there so they know, like, I'm not, the normal fish in the sea that you're going to hook really
Yeah.
easily.
And I can't be mad at them because they're lead generating through social
However,
media.
I
so
did
it's
have someone
fine.
that built a photographer. Actually, it's funny that I used that one because I did use a new photographer on my last listing because they followed me through Instagram. We engaged. I ended up loving all the photos they post. And I was like, you know what? I'll give them a shot. So, it can happen.
Yeah. But I will say, if you decide to be that person that adds people that maybe you don't really know in person, but you're adding them, you can add them through Instagram, but you're not going to get immediate business from them, and
Right.
don't ask them for business immediately because they will shut you down quick. So I would say build a relationship, because there are people who I have, like Jake said, like they start talking to me and I start watching more of their stuff. They build a relationship with me in my DMs or direct messages, sorry. And they slide into my DMs. Not like that, but we talk, or I'll do the same with them, where we have, like, I go and I comment on things and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I build a relationship with them now on this virtual world versus me message them and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'm wondering if you know anybody looking back. They don't know me. Why would I ask them that? And
Right.
so that's where I think social's different. You got to build a relationship.
For
So
sure. I'll piggyback on that. As far as like real estate agents reaching out to me, because I've met so many people through
yeah.
Instagram, and
She's
I've
real good about
recruited
that.
2 of them, and I'm working
Yeah.
with 3. And so
it's a great source for that.
it's crazy. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And it's
guess-
okay. I think having other agents follow you is great. Like, most people on Instagram, like, I follow other real estate agents because I want to not only see what they're doing, but see their listings and whatever else, share their stuff. And so, yeah, I think having agents follow agents is great.
Yeah. I think that recruiting is a big one. If you're super active on social media, I get that question at least once a week, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into real estate. Would you be
Yeah.
interested in meeting me for coffee? Sure, fantastic. So I think that's another big one.
Mhm.
Veronica, did you have a question?
I'm like her, I get so many requests from other agents in this area.
On Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Oh,
Like, to be friends.
the
Yeah,
clan.
and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
when I was brand new agent, I didn't know that, like, oh yeah, let's be friends, we connect, we network, but that doesn't really help me grow my business. I
Yeah.
learned the hard way, because I posted something simple, like 4 different door colors, and what do you like, AJ, you trying to get engagement? And another agent came in there that accepted her request and go, oh, well, I just had a house on the market that they're thinking about painting their house, their door this color. What do you guys think? And then somebody asked them, well, where is it going to be listed? What part of town is it? And I'm
To
like,
go to your
"Oh,
county."
Yeah, no, we're done.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's why I don't accept them.
Absolutely.
I was thinking you might also get into like branch down somebody's sphere, and like I always pay attention to where they're from, because sometimes it might be like a distant family member that's from like Houston. I don't want to be reaching out to people from Houston. I want it to be people that are local to Dallas as well. So I try to pay attention where they're from.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right, $1 million question. Where do you get your ideas for content?
this is an idea right here.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
I already
how
took a
we
picture
were-
of you guys talking, so like I'll tag you both on stories and you can
Yeah.
both reshare. So that's how we do it.
So you can, I mean, it's like one of those things, it takes a while. And of course I have someone now who's helping, so it's a little bit different. I get it. Like it takes a lot of time. It's Pinterest, you can go out. I mean, there are ways you can get real estate content and stuff like that and, you know, reuse it and everything else and be able to create some of the stuff. But your content needs to come from your day to day. Like I just posted a video where I was at an inspection and I was talking about some tips that I do at that inspection. So that is content. People want to see the day to day. They want to see that you're here. Like if you haven't posted yet, that you're here in this amazing class, like sharpening your real estate or whatever tools, like that's content. And that's the stuff they want to see. They don't want to always see like the, well, even though I put like, should you buy, well, that's our blog, but okay, I don't know. You don't want to post just that, like, should you buy a fixer upper? Because if I post things about real estate all the time, or I post something that's not relative, something they're wanting to see, or it's not something I'm doing, then they're going to not engage as much. So your content should be your day to day. And if you have someone ask you a question, like when I have a buyer or seller ask me, hey, what's earnest money? Like, guess what? I have now a video content of, hey guys, I just want to explain what earnest money is, right? And you talk about earnest money. So your knowledge, your, what do you call that? Items of value or your value proposition, all that things, you know, your knowledge, they want to know that stuff, whether they're buying or selling. People like to know stuff.
For sure.
So
And
do
like,
you respond to everybody who comments?
Yes. Yeah. If you can't like respond, at least like it. Like, so yes, you want to go on and engage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Especially on Insta.
yeah, I forget what I was about to say.
Content ideas.
In wins and loses, like, or if something
Yes,
happens.
you're good at that.
I mean, like,
Yes.
I talk about the good, bad, and ugly. I mean, wins for sure are always good, but like, I had one terminate recently. It was a fixer upper, super cute, but it was flipped. Like, it was a horrific, horrific flip. So I just talked about that. So just day to day things that happen.
I think you're going to ask the question you're going to ask.
Yeah, so
but-
then I think that feeds really into it. I was going to talk about a couple other strengths for each one. So one of the things that I love that you do is you're in stories, you do a video update every single day. Basically, it's at one point during the day, and then she usually does a video and it's like, I'm leaving this inspection and going to this closing, because she's got a closing every single day. But you know, it's some sort of like update, and you do your wins and losses. So, but you know, in the beginning, you weren't as busy. You know, we started at the same time. I think we both were kind of doing videos in the beginning.
Yeah.
How did you handle it on days where you really didn't necessarily have something client related?
Donna, I learned this from you. You're like, even if you're not busy, show people you're working, show up, continue to show up. You know, if you're at an open house, no one's there, who cares? They don't know that. Walk them around the house, you know, just preview the home. So that's what I did from the beginning, because I hated videos, hated doing them. But I got over that, and so when I wasn't busy, I would just do like previews of homes, showing, you know, homes, and just day-to-day.
And if like content, like in your new agent, like if you don't have a listing, guess what? You have 400 agents that I think we have like 300 something listings
Go
currently
walk
on the
any of
market.
mine.
You market any of ours, like please, like people are afraid to post other people's listings because they think,
Do it.
oh, whatever. I want you to share my listings, right? And you can treat it like it's your own, as long as you're putting, and we do the same thing, like this post right here is Jan Webb's listing. So we reach out, we ask them, hey, do you mind, which Jan doesn't care. And it's like, yes, that's fine. We put in there listing courtesy of Jan Webb, Keller Williams Central. So we're still giving her credit, but if any business comes from it, you know, through my sphere of people, because of the post, she understands, like, I'm going to take that buyer and show that property. So talk to other agents, use each other's listings. We try to boost each other's stuff and all that kind of stuff too, but your sphere doesn't understand or know that that's not really your listing. If you do an open house for someone else, they don't understand that's not your listing. All they see is you are out there pushing that listing or pushing the open house in your, you know what I mean? So even if you don't have business per se, you do have business. You have a ton of buyers right now. If you want some buyer criteria, I have like a good amount of buyers who need a house right now. So if you want to boost out some buyer criteria to find some listings for us, and if that doesn't work out for my client, you take that listing on as your own, great, you can do that. But it's helping me, it's helping you. So we could totally do that kind of stuff. That's where that,
Okay.
go ahead.
Sorry, no, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, you
I was
were.
gonna say, that's where that buyer needs and listing Facebook group. I really wish we could get a little more active on that, because that's where we need to be posting these things, and people need to be pulling that content and reusing,
Right.
everyone's
So
content.
raise your hand if you knew that we had a Facebook page that was just buyer and seller needs for our office. Okay, so not everyone. So we have the Central Solutions page. One of the other ones is buyer and seller needs. You can almost treat it as like a shadow MLS in a way. You can also put your coming soons in there earlier than you can put them, advertise them for everyone else. And again, as she mentioned, like it's good to market with like another agent within this office. The potential then for double siding that transaction and having Keller Williams Central broker both sides increases if you're marketing our own listings. Which is fantastic for our market center. It helps us grow and helps us have dominance in the area, which within like our area, Donna, when we look at this at ALC every month, we're one of the top 3 brokers in all of, in Collin County, Dallas County, those areas that we look at. So it's something that will help, and it is a really huge tool that we have that definitely people need to be using more. I always post my coming soons in there. I do buyer needs as well. So it's really helpful.
Yeah, I need to be better about that.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your kind of like your videos. And so in the beginning, the other thing I was going to say is if you don't have something to do someday, that's a perfect day to go tour properties. So you have something to do every single day. Even if you're a new agent, you don't have a client to work with that day, there is something to build your business. And that can be as easy as becoming the neighborhood expert in your area. You should walk every listing that's in your area. And that way what that content, what those properties look like. And so when people ask you about that, you're an expert, a subject matter expert for your area.
That's what I would do. That's how I started out.
Yeah, we did a lot of video tours in the beginning, and people would always be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so busy." Yes,
Yeah.
I am. Do you need to work with
But not too
me?
busy for your referral.
Exactly, or not too busy to work with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but it does work that way. It kind of starts building that natural trust.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mariana, different than Maggie's videos. She does those daily videos. They're on the spot. Your videos that you do that are amazing are your TikToks. Yes.
Love them.
So tell us about those.
I mean, TikTok's a whole nother thing that again, Facebook, Instagram, then if you want to get into TikTok, you can. It is important to do videos. I will say that the TikToks are like a fun way to do the videos. If you want to get into TikTok, you can get it on TikTok. I use the TikTok videos. I can't say TikTok anymore. I use the videos and I share them to my Instagram and my Facebook because I don't really have a following on TikTok. So I'm not really trying to do that there. I'm just using it mainly to get the whole
To create
trend and create, all that kind of stuff. And actually I was going to share with you guys because I have a friend who does real estate marketing. And so she's got a program. Well, she's got 2 different things. So she's got a class that you can purchase. It's like what am I trying to say? It's already pre-recorded. Yeah, self-paced on how to use TikTok. And then she gives you, because you're going to ask me like, where do I find my content? So some of it I just come up with, or if I'm like thinking, like I said, the other day I did one at the inspection. So I just thought of that. But she gives you 200 TikTok ideas or video content ideas. It comes with it. So she gave me, I asked her about it if she was still doing it, because that's how I learned how to do TikTok. Normally it's $47 for the program. She gave me a discount code. So if you guys want to do it, let us know. It's $25. So
and we'll post that link in Central Solutions.
Yeah, I can put it on the solutions page. And I 100% would do that, because if you're looking to get into the TikTok videos, or you want video content, you just want it for the 200 video content ideas, $25, heck yes. And she will walk you through all of that, recording it and stuff. So that will be a good little class.
Absolutely.
And then
I think the good thing or the main thing that you said there is that you create it on one, but you use it on all 3 apps. So I think that's something to keep in mind too, is that one, it goes across all of them. So you're creating it once, but you're getting to use it on multiple different platforms. And I think that leverage is important when you're doing video, especially.
Yeah. And on that topic, like our batch content creating, we'll take one topic and we make it into a post. You can make it into a long version video, a short version video, the story. So you have one topic and you can turn it into like 10 different things. So you don't have to come up with a whole lot of ideas. You could take one idea and make 10 different social media posts. And you don't have to post it all at once. You can post it next week or next month or whatever, but you take that idea and post, create 10 different things.
Do you both batch, like create content all in like one day for a week or something like that while you answer that and look at the chats?
Yeah, it's hit or miss. I mean, I try and do like a couple of them at a time, but usually I'll sit down like one day a week and do it.
Yeah.
And then save them for later.
Yeah, if I've got my hair and makeup done, like even Bill Webb knows this. He saw me with my hair and makeup. He goes, "Oh, you're recording videos today?" He knows like I'm gonna record probably like 3 videos after today's class. Cause I'm like, so if it looks like I wear the same thing every week, it's not really. But you know, sometimes I'll spread it out, you know, so you can't tell. But I do that because I mean, it takes time to get ready sometimes, and I don't want to all every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you not connect your Instagram to your Facebook?
Yes, so we use Facebook. Yeah, 100%. Like, so our business Facebook is connected to our Instagram, so we post everything to both. My personal one, I mean, I do use it, but I don't post like all my business onto my personal. Yeah.
So then with that, so you guys both batch, do you both schedule your posts?
I should, I don't.
We do.
I love the honesty of it. Yeah.
I just put them in drafts and then just like post them.
Yeah, which is basically
That's-
scheduling
yeah,
them.
But
Yeah.
it just depends because every day I don't want them at a certain time. Because like I've gotten more engagement the later I post in a day.
Mhm.
And that's just my audience. Probably differs with everyone, but I usually post like later in the day or depending on the day. Some days I'll post at like lunch.
Mhm.
That was actually one of the chat questions is, do you guys have certain times that you try to post? And I know we actually, the 3 of us are all in group coaching with Laura, and we actually had social media this morning, ironically. And one of the things was she posted a really helpful graph that was the ideal times to post. I think
the pink one and the,
the pink and the red. I think the ideal time, or what someone said this morning, was think about when people are like drinking their coffee or they're eating lunch or like just after dinner. Those are going to be the ideal times to post. But do you guys have something specific that you stick to as far as timing?
If it's in the morning, like 10 and 11-ish, sometimes I lately have just been doing it at night because my audience, I've got more engagement. on
You're
that.
also a night owl. Like,
Yeah.
we will get messages from Maggie and it's like 1:30 in the morning and I'm like, go to sleep, Maggie.
I usually see it, but I'm like,
I know, right? Yes,
So
exactly.
bad.
Same thing. I'm also awake, but I'm not engaging at
Yeah.
that point.
No, I mean, I say night, like 6, 7 PM. That's what I've gotten.
Yeah.
Or more. like,
yeah, in the evening, like you said, when they're eating dinner, when they're on social, I mean, people are at work, they should be at work, well,
Yeah.
most, during the day. But we schedule, and if you're gonna schedule directly through Facebook Scheduler on your face, and you can only do that on a business page. You can't schedule on a personal page. That's why it's important to also have that business page.
Absolutely.
So we schedule directly through Facebook to Facebook because Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. And then Instagram, you can't schedule directly through Instagram, unfortunately, but you can use Later. So Later doesn't automatically post to, I think it's a free version.
There is a free version.
There is a
yes.
free version. I think we now pay because if you can only get so many posts or something
Correct.
like that. But what it does is it doesn't automatically post. It sends you a notification and it reminds you to post. So like she's got it in draft. So it's kind of like it sits in a draft. And then whatever time it says or you've scheduled for it to post, it will ding you. You go into the app, you copy the text and then download, you save the photo to your phone and then you have to manually upload it. So it's like kind of the same thing, but
I think
it doesn't automatically post.
I think the paid version has like when it texts you, can't you click like yes or something and it
And
does
I
post it for
accident-
you.
Yeah,
I think
don't know.
I think there's different
I don't
options,
remember
but
what
the
we
point
did.
is it like definitely leverages the time, because I feel like when I do my post on the spot, I spend so much time thinking about like, okay, what am I going to type here? Like, what am I going to say? So by batching, you get all that done at one time, create all of your posts, create all of your captions, add in all your hashtags, and then you schedule it or do it in a draft mode. And it takes out that having to think for that 5 minutes about like, what do I want to say in this picture?
Because you can sit down once a week and just like for the week, you
Right.
know what your posts are gonna be.
Andrea?
So I like to do that on Trello, so if you put like
Yeah, you can do that.
a line
Uh-huh.
from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. And then I have a column for like ideas that I have that I want to post later. And then once I've already done it, I can drag it to my done, or like once I need to schedule it for that week, I can drag it over. And then obviously you can see when you've used it, that way, you know, we talked about this morning, we've used it at least 10 times.
Yeah.
But kind of
Yeah.
mix it up.
I also
Perfect.
type up like the caption and then all the hashtags in an email, because that just saves me time, because I hate, sometimes I'll do it, like, I hate typing out the caption. on the
Hashtags
phone.
are the
Yes,
worst to
and
type,
doing
like,
the dots, then the hashtag, so I just.
Oh yeah,
type
we
it up.
both do that.
Yeah. They're at the bottom. So, yeah, that saved me time or.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've saved all my hashtags like now it's like in a note
Yep,
of my phone
same.
section. So now I just like copy and paste those hashtags over and then I change them up depending on the.
One of the
post.
chat questions was
all that.
hashtags.
Yeah.
You know, what do you guys, are there specific hashtags you use? You know, how do you think about that process? Check the chat again.
Yeah, I use, or go ahead.
Yeah, I use them. You have to be careful with hashtags. There's ones that will like lower your count. Like you want to find hashtags that don't have like a billion views. Like you want to get more specific. Like we have ones that are modern-esque real estate or whatever, like ones print like that are our hashtags, like that we try to use. But then we'll put in like home inspo or, you know, DFW, whatever. I don't know. Like we like come up with the ones that are more local specific. But there's generators, you can like go online and Google just like hashtag generator, it'll tell you like which ones are trending or which ones are like popular ones to be using. But there are some ones that will ban the post. I've heard, I don't know as
Yeah,
much about that,
I
but
don't
that's
know.
like,
I don't use a generator.
yeah, that's like above here. I don't really know.
Yeah, I always do like, if it's like a recent sold, I'll do like the elementary school or the
It's a
district,
great idea, yeah.
local restaurants, the neighborhood name.
And
Same.
tag the location, you do that a lot too.
Yeah.
Like if you closed in Plano, the house is in Plano, tag that you're in Plano,
Yeah.
things like that, yeah.
Yeah, I have like my own tags as well. I also like try to always tag like the office. I don't know why, it's just one of the things that I add in, just again. But what I do is, so I R&D, rip off and duplicate. I have like certain agents that have like thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. I look at kind of like what hashtags they use.
Yeah.
And that's where I've kind of gotten my, we'll call it inspiration, but where I've copied mine from.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course they're in another area. So if they're in San Diego, I just take all that and translate it into like, what does it mean to be in Plano instead? So instead I'm a fan of that. So there's agents that I follow across the country. And so I'm like, oh, that's a cool hashtag. I hadn't thought of that, you know, or whatever it may be. And like anything local, so like Maggie said, like schools, elementary school, anytime I sell a property that's really close to a school, like the schools in the neighborhood, I tag the location as that school. So if you can get super specific on like your location tags as well, I find that that's really helpful. Okay.
And you can tag people like in, maybe you just said this, but like if we have like a new construction that we closed on, we're tagging the builder
The
too.
builder, yeah.
Yeah, like tag people in the actual post itself, not like just in the.
Yeah, not hashtags, but the actual like account tag.
Right.
Yes, and that's important because I mean, I've been like reshared on a builder's
Tag
Instagram.
your
And so
vendors. Yeah.
same thing, I have like, well, most people won't know this. I have a design background. And so Kohler, who makes like faucets and tubs and everything else, they'll like occasionally comment, like the Kohler Dallas Design Center will occasionally, I know, comment on my stuff. But it's like really cool. And same thing, they've like reshared some of my stuff on their Instagram because I post some design related stuff. So anything that they're in, if anytime you get a vendor or a third party to reshare your stuff, like that's how you know your social media is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So, and it's just helpful. Okay, so we've already kind of touched base on this a little bit, but how important is video for both of you?
Yeah.
It's important.
I honestly
People
think
wanna-
that's the game changer. I mean, you can post all the stuff you want to post and not show your face, but I think showing your face and hearing your voice, like you guys know, like talking to people, you know, through phone or however you communicate with people, like hearing your voice and seeing your face is so important. So if you hide behind all the text and the photos, like that's not showing who you are, right? And they want to see you, they want to know who you are. So I think videos, 100% like game changer.
And I think there's like a statistic somewhere, I think we heard it like Mega Camper Family Reunion, within the next couple of years, like 96% of advertising will be video format. So like you have to catch up to that or be in front of that trend for your content to stand out. And it doesn't have to be videos about real estate all the time. Like even you just talk about your day, it's real estate related, but then like there's videos of you and Hank. I mean, there's videos of you and your cat, there's videos of you and your husband. I do silly videos with my daughter. So I think it's just like making sure that your page has video on it. And then certainly you want some of the video to be real estate related, but it doesn't have to all be real estate related, but it definitely increases your algorithm, your reach, your sphere, all that.
And you can probably go ahead.
Are you using a smooth when you do your video?
I have a
Yeah,
gimbal.
you
Is
have
that what it's
one.
called?
Gimbal, yeah.
See, I have it. I don't even know what it's called.
I have one too, and it was like $200 and
Same.
it sits in my closet. So
Yeah.
I'm like, great.
I'll occasionally, if I'm doing a nice video walkthrough of like a model or something like that, I'll have it, but it's kind of awkward to use, to be honest.
I know.
And I always feel weird, like, hey, can I video on your model with like my equipment, you know? But I'm not above it. I mean, I'll do it if it's a really pretty model home.
Yeah, usually.
Explain what that is.
Yes. Okay. So a gimbal, I should have like brought one in.
Just
Um,
Google it real quick. We can
yeah.
see what it is.
A gimbal, it's like it's something that your phone goes on and you have like a little part that you hold, and what it does is it stabilizes your video.
Yeah, so
So you don't get the clump of your steps as you're walking through or talking through something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it can
and you
spin, it can do all kinds
You
of
can
things.
definitely do that.
They range. I've seen cheap ones like $75, $50, $75. We both spent a couple $100s on ours.
Yeah. Well, and I would say if
It's an
you're not
investment.
doing this yet, don't go buy a
Oh,
gimbal.
God, no.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if you're gonna buy something, we have like we're like intense with our ring light. So buy and lighting, guys, I cannot
biggest
stress to
difference.
you, wear whatever you want, but lighting makes a big difference in people seeing your videos or wanting to continue to see your videos. If you have bad poor lighting, they're just gonna at least I do for sure. And I think you guys can
We
agree.
all three of us probably always have a ring light
You
somewhere
will need
with
a ring
it.
light of
Yeah.
some sort. You can buy little ring lights on Amazon for $5. You can buy ring lights that you sit your phone on. Buying that first before you go out and buy an expensive gimbal, I would invest in that first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're inexpensive. ring
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
ones that clip on your phone, I think the one I use that one way more than like my stand one. And I always keep it in my car because it's like you never know. You're gonna be walking a property and it's just not gonna have the best lighting, but it's a
Yeah.
really cool property or
Yeah.
something that you want to talk about or do. Or you're in your car and you just left a crazy inspection, you want to talk about it, and it's overcast and gross outside. So it just helps, I think.
Yeah. And one other thing on video is like, I was the same way before I started doing video, I was like, and if someone said this to me where I was like, oh, I hate the way I look or sound on video. And that person was like, well, guess what? That's how you look and that's how you sound. So.
Yeah. And you're not gonna suddenly sound different when you meet the client for the first time.
I was like, well, shoot. Okay. So if you're afraid to do video, you haven't ever done video, my number one tip, and this is what I did for lives, because I was so like literally just pushing that button was like so panicking to me to push it because I was like, oh my gosh, you can set your settings to be private to where only you can see posts. So what you could do is you can practice, put it to where only you can see it, push that live button, something about just pushing that freaking live button and then doing video just to get like you are not going to learn it from a book. You're not going to learn it from me telling you how to do a video. The only way you're going to get better and more comfortable on video. I mean, I think I might have shared the first live I did. I was like cringe, like
But it goes
was
away
bad.
too eventually, it's like.
But then it
it's
pops
old-
in your
yeah.
memories and you're like,
Yes.
great. And I think I did share it or something.
Oh gosh.
And I look at it and I'm like, dang, but like that video to like, and I'm not saying I'm like any expert by any means, but I'm getting better. And it's like, I could see the
She's an
progression because you just start to do it more. And so that's literally 100% just like phone call people, just like anything, just gotta have to do it, unfortunately. And if you want to make it part of your business, you just have to do it.
So
So
Only doing live or do you pre-record?
I pre-record, I do lives, we do the little
Reels,
whatever.
TikToks.
Yeah, TikToks. You can use the
Yes.
teleprompter
Yes,
app.
I think
we
all
use
three of us
that.
have used that.
Yeah,
Big view, I
Big
think.
View.
Big View.
So there's a free version.
What was that?
BIGVU.
We
What-
could be talking about tools we use
Yeah.
too. So yeah,
BIGVU. And one of the things I was gonna say while she's kind of pulling that up and gets ready to talk about it, the advice that I was given with video was find a topic that you're comfortable with and do videos around that first, something that you could naturally talk about. So for me, it was being in a house, I could do a walkthrough and talk about the different, design points of that home. And that got me doing videos on that, and getting good feedback, got me more comfortable to do videos on market updates and the stuff that is like slightly just not my wheelhouse, like not my comfort point. I'm not naturally going to talk about market updates and stats, but so pick something, find something you're comfortable with, get good at doing that, and then you can expand.
yeah. So Big View, and like what that is it's basically like a teleprompter. You can pre-record what you're going to say, like type it up. And
You
then
just enter the script, basically.
yeah, it basically is kind of like a sing along where it's like it looks like you're looking, and it may take you a couple times of saying it because you have to learn your upswings and downswings of when you're talking, so you don't sound like you're reading something. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. Just like anything else. what is it? You start to memorize,
A little
well,
bit.
you know
You do.
what's coming up. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it becomes more natural. And so you do have to maybe say it a couple times, practice, and then you can record, and then that's the one you end up using for
And
video.
one of the other things I love about Big View is it uses your script to generate the captions, which I like.
Mhm.
This is not as, like, some people don't add captions to their videos on social media. I am one of those where my phone's almost always on silent. So if it's a video and it doesn't have captions, I might scroll, I won't watch it.
Mhm.
So I know that about myself. So if it's a longer video, I always make sure I use Big View, because then it just like it automatically does the captions based off the text that I entered. Because some of the other ones that transcribe it or create the the ones, sometimes they're not always correct. So I like that as well.
There is an app that you can do like even for stories, and I forget what it is, but it'll automatically.
Capwing is another, but I don't like it.
I don't
Are you
think
talking
that's
about
Well, I think
captions?
in actual Instagram now, you
Oh,
could
you
do the
can?
voice to text. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can.
Huh.
Because that's what I did on my last one.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're a little wonky
Yeah, see,
for me.
mine, like when I do it, it doesn't, or maybe I just haven't.
I know,
updated my
sometimes it
phone,
thinks
but-
I say something weird, because it's going off of, it's guessing what you're
Yeah.
saying, but
Yeah, Shauna, you're
It's
good
better
about
than
using those.
But I have a question. What is the ring light that you use? Do you have a link or a brand that you recommend?
oh, I mean, oh no, mine's on my ex-husband's account on Amazon. We talked about that. I can't reorder it because
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
on-
on my Amazon.
yeah, it's on Instagram. Yeah, you want to look up the brand you use. Why don't we just put this on like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can like we'll tag like what we use on the ring lights,
Yeah.
gimbals. Yeah.
okay, so non-tech wise, or like, so non-product wise, so those are products you buy. What about like apps, tools, and things like that that you guys use?
Yeah,
Canva.
Canva,
is the
Canva's the one that we are all
the
gonna
holy
say.
grail.
It is.
Yeah, so like all of
that's
these create a
in
Canva.
Every single one of us have touched Canva.
Yeah, so Canva is something that it's basically just helps you create all of your marketing pieces. It's so distracting when people are talking. It is.
It's like $12 a month for the pro.
Yeah,
Or
And it's so worth
120
it.
for the year, 100% invest in that.
yes.
It's
I
so
mean,
worth it.
it's, yeah.
It's the best.
The
It's
cool
so
thing that I like
user-friendly.
about Canva is like, and you've done this, you've done it because of your colors really easy, but you can save like your colors and your brandings, like your logo's already in there, my navy that I use on everything, my gray that I use on everything, all that, and then you can save your fonts too. So like that's, again, like when you're looking at branding and aesthetic, these are all consistent, fonts and styles that she's keeping with, that it doesn't like look like all of a sudden she's gone to something that looks totally different.
Mhm.
So Canva enables you to do that. It really helps you create and solidify and keep your brand consistent. And it's super easy to work with. I use the phone app the most. Are you guys phone app or desktop?
Oh, on Canva?
Desktop.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate the app.
Me
Oh, I
too.
love the
How
app.
do you use it? Do you create stuff on there?
I did the one
Oh my
that I
gosh.
posted. Did you see what I posted in
you
Facebook
did
this
it?
morning? That was on the phone.
How? Okay, I can't. do
I like
it.
the desktop better for sure.
Yeah, it's like so, it doesn't make sense to me, but you're better.
It's so
You're-
funny.
I have to do it on the desktop.
Oh, it is little. I'm like this zooming in, but I'm never at a desktop. Like I'm a mobile person. I
Yeah.
like, we joke about this all the time. I do DocuSign, like I
Oh
did it
my
the other day
God.
on my phone, but I'm usually on my
Oh,
iPad. So like I'm just a
Yeah.
mobile version.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah,
I-
so there's an iPad version of Canva, there's an iPhone version of Canva, and then there's a desktop. So, but getting the one subscription, you can use the app on any of the three.
It's just harder to like group and ungroup things. like,
That's
on your
what,
phone.
that's why I don't like. the
Mm-mm, there's a
phone
trick.
version. Oh, well,
I got it
maybe
down.
we should-
You just
should
press
get
and
it.
hold,
Yeah.
press and
Yes,
hold.
seriously.
Class.
But someone else can teach. Yes.
Clearly no one else knows how to use it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing that adds animated ones using Canva as well to change up the look as it's coming in.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. That's the one of
I
the thing.
don't, that's one of the things I don't do is any animations.
Someone
Sometimes
just,
I do.
there's so many things you could do on Canva. You can animate like this little graphic, like my little buyer blitz one. You can animate it to where it like moves and stuff and becomes like a 5-second long little clip. And so we have done some things like that. We don't do it necessarily on Instagram because it's just a little different. But yeah, you can absolutely do that.
I mean, some of them are a little more subtle and it doesn't look as cheesy, but it's
Yeah.
like, it's flying in, it's just like kind of.
Yeah, you can do a ton on Canva. Someone just told me the other day, and I haven't looked into this, that you can design the layout of a room, like furniture wise, on Canva, apparently now. Like that's a new feature. And I'm like, okay, I haven't even looked into it. That was like 2 days ago.
You can do infographics too. Like
You can do
of the
flyers.
process.
Yep.
Yeah, I do all my flyers, postcard. Well, we don't really send that many postcards, but you can do all that.
And those
there.
flyers with the pro version of Canva, you can then resize them to become social media posts. I've
Mhm.
done that for. I have infographics as like the buying process that I give out to buyers in my buyer appointment. But then I've turned all those into Instagram posts that then I can talk about the process of buying.
And
It resizes them, yeah.
That's so nice.
You can
On the
pick
pro
this
version,
resize.
yeah. And like you can pick from like Facebook posts, Instagram posts, like it's all done for you.
Mhm,
Yeah. So sometimes it requires some tweaking, but usually it's pretty spot on.
mhm.
Yeah. Any other tools? I think Canva is the big one, but
That's the
I'm
biggest.
trying to think of other apps that I use.
I know I was looking, Facebook pay, so for your business page for Facebook, don't go through the Facebook actual app, use, it's called Business Suite. So that's the app to use for your business pages.
Oh, interesting.
It just makes it a lot better. It's kind of separates it from your personal too, but it's a lot better to use to schedule posts and, Business Suite.
It'll show up if you.
It looks like a little
search.
circle, yeah.
How
Oh,
funny. Do you
search
both
Facebook.
use that?
No, I don't use.
I was just gonna say,
I
I
have
don't use it
it, but I
either.
don't use.
Oh, that's
mean-
all I use for my.
I don't
Like,
use my
oh,
Facebook business page as much as I should, to be
I don't
honest.
either.
I just don't have a good engagement on it.
Mhm.
I don't either.
But my engagement was more so Instagram, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I think we have like one more question from mine and then we can open up to everyone else. Advice for new agents as they're getting into using their social media for business.
Posting consistently, showing up, video.
How important do you guys both have really consistent, all three of us have really consistent aesthetics on Instagram. Do you think that's super, should you worry about that right away in the beginning or just post and then you can establish that stuff later?
I was gonna make a comment about that earlier. I'm glad you said that. What's the whole saying that Amber Sparza says? It's like perfect, or what's it? What is, you know what I'm talking about? Done. Done is
the enemy of complete.
There's that, or done is better than perfect kind of thing. So yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, all the same things and use the same stuff. Yeah, it's important to have your aesthetic. So think about it, especially if you're branding, a certain look and all that. And your brand is not just, your logo. Like your brand is
It's
your
you.
color, it's you, it's your like he said, font, it's your image, it's the look. It's more than just literally putting a logo on things. So figuring that out along the way is really smart, but should you have that figured out before you start posting? No, like you need to start posting.
You don't
And
have
it
to.
could be, it could be that you figure it out along the way, like what your brand is. And even like my friend, like my obsession with friends, like that's part of my brand now. People will send me friends things. My cat, I'm not a cat person, but I love my cat.
She's a cat
But people
person.
buy me
Yeah,
so much
perfect.
cat stuff. I am not
Okay.
at all. Other people's cats, some except for Marissa's, like I won't touch it. And what else? Like Tiffany blue because of the blue.
Right.
Like it's like you have these other things that aren't just like if you like tacos. I know there's one agent with Seychelle Van Pool.
Oh, yeah.
She talks about this. She has 5 categories that she posts about, and rotates what she's talking about. Like tacos is one, running is the other. So it's like your brand is you too. So what do you like? What are things that people think about when they when they see something, they're thinking of you? It does not have to be real estate related. Shoes. Marissa's obsessed with shoes. So she posts pictures of her shoes. So now guess what? Anytime someone sees something about shoes, they're thinking of her and they're giving her this shoe picture or whatever it is. So it's like, it's more than just, I don't know, real estate. You are a person too, and they want to know that. So
For sure. Yeah, I mean.
I think
that's
I
just
stick to the
figured
5 as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Just like with color, like you said, like logo is not just your brand, like colors and all of that, you're gonna have to figure out along the way, so.
Well, I want to add to that because I know Mariana and I've had this discussion about when we first started, like what we wish we'd known then. I don't know how many new agents are in here, but it's like as our
Okay.
brands develop, we wish we had known okay, and bringing Amber back up, like Amber's like everything you do today should support your 5-year plan. What do you want to look like in 5 years? So like that's what you should be doing today. And so if you know that you want a brand in 5 years, like figure that out now so that you can just start doing all the things already leading up to growing that brand.
I think you and I both have a transition on our Instagram where you see
Yeah.
work stuff And then you see like the really pretty, organized, color consistent,
Yes, you can see
branded
that-
work stuff.
that immediate
It's a
difference.
crisp line. I think, well, mine's, I think we have a transition and then you
Yeah.
get to see this stuff. It's okay. Like people are not suddenly like, oh, why does it look different?
Yeah.
Instead, what they do notice is after you post that stuff for a little while, then it's consistent and they know what to expect on your page.
Yeah.
I've seen that quite a lot with friends posts as well, as they've got better and better at it.
Yeah.
that they've-
Yeah.
You know, they've started off. with
You
it
just
all over
start
the place
doing
and then
it.
Yeah.
sometimes they get like a filter that they love or,
Yeah.
you know, color, they love pastels all the time. And it's just consistent. You can literally go all the way back to your friends and you're like, what are they doing? And
It's like
this is so
post
beautiful.
life,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
Or
you-
post like, social.
And I think that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's,
and keep
neither
them
one of
on
us
there.
had a logo until we were at least almost a year in
Yeah.
to our
It was the
business.
best
Is when
time.
we finally were like, we should probably get a logo.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
this-
If
Yeah.
you go back to my page, it is a hot mess. Like, oh my.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
I
you're
mean,
hard on
I'm
yourself in
just-
that, but
Well, this might be a little off topic, but I'm just gonna say it. Like I did the same thing. I got right out of college and went into this. So I went through and did an audit of my Facebook and my Instagram, right? So if there's something on there that you wouldn't want your clients to see,
absolutely.
I'm not saying it was like my parents followed me, so it wasn't that
Good time
bad.
girl.
But
That's a good time girl.
Yeah. But they don't want to see the sorority girl that I don't know was with the frat boys. So I delete those things, right? And so it's not like you're hiding it, but your sphere is looking you up. And people, before they go on an appointment, I mean, they are looking up your social media presence. They are looking at your your website. They're Googling you, and where you show up and what they see is going to be a reflection from when you walk into that door. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I literally was at a listing appointment that was a referral from my title rep. He had a friend that he and 3 siblings, they'd lost their parents, so they needed to sell their house through probate. And I was at the listing appointment and I mentioned something. He said, oh yeah, I saw that on your social media. And I was like, oh, well, good thing
Yeah.
it's cleaned up and sparkling, like basically like, good thing it is what I want it to be, because that's the first time I've ever had someone mention that they definitely did it, but I know people do, because honestly, I look up clients ahead of time too, because I'm like, what am I getting myself into here before I meet them? So I think that's really important. Veronica?
So something I did a couple years ago, I did Google my business.
Mhm.
That way you could tag yourself to this address. You don't have to be homebound
Right.
office. This is your office. So if you Google your business and you tag yourself like my Solar Realty Group, it tags me as 501 West. Third.
Yep.
And
Same.
even if I'm working from home, I still will tag myself at the office. It will if I'm working. If you're studying contracts or you're MLS, just take a quick picture, tag yourself as, whatever your name is, 501 West, learning this today or looking at something for fun today. Something like that, but like, just keep your at the office.
Right.
Right. Your day to day.
Yeah, I have that too. So if any of you want to tag yourself as thinking for real estate here at class, you're more than welcome to.
I want to
'Cause
put
you
my
can.
Instagrams up if y'all are okay, or my handles.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I'll write it where
Okay.
you've written yours,
I had that left over from marketing the
whatever.
other day. Yes.
I have a question based off the new agent stuff. So like when we started Instagram or anything like that, I feel like I maxed out on like friends following me, like at around 100 followers and stuff when I'm posting, but kind of a two-part question. Sometimes I feel kind of silly like getting on there and I know it's only like people looking at it. So how do you like grow your followers, I guess, if you don't have clients? And 2, like, do you change your content based on how many people are following you, or should I just act like I have that 5,000 followers?
Yeah,
Yes.
like you have
Act
the
like you-
5,000.
yeah.
I have
Yeah.
like 50. I was like getting family and friends, like, go like my page or go follow me. And I started with like nothing. And that was scary because I had all these followers on my personal page, but I knew I wanted to separate it. So I would just act like you have 1 million, keep posting. And the more you post, the more followers you'll get. And then also engage in other people's accounts. Look at use your hashtags and then look at recent posts from those hashtags and like all their stuff and then go comment.
Yeah.
There's ways to.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody starts off with like 50 or whatever, right? And then you just build, but the engaging, that's what made a big difference. Like we finally have hit a goal of ours on our business. It's because we are purposely every day we're commenting on other people's things or liking or whatever, and we're watching them follow us back. So I'm not following every single one I'm commenting on because you don't want your followers to be higher than the people following you. Like that's a whole nother thing on Instagram.
I have that, but whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not sitting in the chair.
You're right. I'm running. You're right. Because I'm running the class.
Oh my God. I only am not to be, like, they know.
Oh my God, I love it.
For like that.
We're
is
not
rude.
friends anymore. I'm unfollowing you. You just lost one follower.
What was I even
God.
saying?
I used to like,
Yeah.
on a good day, I would, if I got 5 likes, that was like a great day. And now like average is like 100 something.
Yeah.
So 5 likes was like, I was celebrating. So you will grow.
Yeah.
It just it takes
Yeah.
time.
And what's interesting, what I've learned, because, you know, this on my business one, we have a more following, like I've only got, like I've maybe have a fifth of what I have on my business, on my personal, because I don't post as often on my personal. Once you hit like a certain level on Instagram followers, more people will follow you because you have followers. So if they see 50, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, just give yourself grace, because it's gonna be slower at first. And then I've noticed, like, we grew like 1,000 followers in like 6 months. And I was like, holy moly, like I've had that business page for 8
So
years.
it's TikTok.
So,
Yeah.
well,
TikTok's
TikToks,
really-
which you turn into reels and engaging and things like that. So at one point, like it'll start to kind of like take off more, but just the consistency, posting, and yes, treat them like you have 5,000 people following you. Even if it's your 50, like you were talking to them. And again, not just business, your personal, everything else. And the stories are huge on Instagram. So you have to be in stories every day. Yeah, so just be consistent and people will start to take notice. So
Mine is find something that's, it may not even be real estate related, but like my content that gets the most engagement and that like I've been recognized like in bars at like 2 a.m. for this is videos that I do with my daughter. I mean, they're the
They're so
silliest
good.
like little lunchbox
Yeah.
videos, but when
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't do them for a little while, I would get questions like messages from people like, hey, are you like, when are you
They
bringing back the
notice.
lunchbox videos? Like people notice when you're consistent and then
Yeah.
inconsistent and they will call you out on it. So
and on that, Marissa and I can talk about this, like, because we used to do like videos a lot together. People would like come up to us like that, not like random people like in a bar like Jake, but we would have our
I'll take what I can
sphere-
get.
Yeah. Our sphere would come to us and be like, oh my gosh, I love your videos, you and your friend, like, and I'm like, so comment or like it, like you,
Yeah.
they're watching,
Yeah.
they're watching you, but they're not like engaging maybe, and that's okay.
Which is okay, as long as their eyes are on
The
it.
goal is they're seeing you, and they may just stay on there for a minute and, you know, pop in, see what the topic is, not be interested in leave, but they still thought of me as being a real estate agent. So be consistent. If you get 1 like, if you get 0 likes, you get 0 people looking, that's okay. Like build that content. And then the lives, like we just transitioned all my lives that I was doing on Facebook. I downloaded them and now it's on YouTube. So now we're like focusing on YouTube. So it's like you're reusing that content too, you know, so just keep doing it.
I feel like sometimes the most engaging posts, and I'm guilty of this, sometimes I forget to like it because I'm so engaged in watching the
Right.
video.
Yeah, I do that.
So, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's,
Yeah, it's really intimidating sometimes. I mean,
And something we tend to do, like, and so if you have agent friends that you follow, like we try to comment on each other. It's like any boost you can give to like
Yeah.
comment on each other's, because my sphere is different than Maggie's and is different than Mariana's. So it's not like we're in conflict or competition with each other. We really just try to help each other out and like boost each other's stuff. And
Yeah.
we share each other's stuff. We tag each other in stories,
mhm.
all that kind of stuff. So that's another one too. Like if you have agent friends on your social media that you're actually friends with, help them get their engagement up. Be that first comment.
Exactly, yeah.
Any other questions, comments,
How-
concerns?
Of the comments you get on your feed, what percentage are you responding to?
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes am like a day late, but I was like,
I know,
I'm
I
like,
it's not.
I
It may
can't,
not be immediately, but you are responding.
because it refreshes the post. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it may not be immediate, but you're definitely either liking it and commenting or doing a quick emoji, whatever it is. And if they're DMing you or direct messaging you, like I always respond to those too. Again, it may just be me liking it and sending an emoji, but just depends.
Yeah, that's my favorite response. It's just an emoji. It's like, done, we're good,
Mhm.
moving on.
It works.
This was great, ladies.
Thank you guys. I
Yes.
learned something from y'all. I'm like, dang,
We
I
all
haven't done a
have to
Popeye
five get a
since
picture
2019
together.
because of COVID, so.
I know, but now
I
their
need to
Popeye's like
review.
being mailed out. I'm
I
like,
know.
genius. So
I know.
I have a question. Didn't you guys do one with a restaurant?
Oh,
I meant to
yeah.
ask about
So
this.
We did
Sorry?
it for
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de
Cinco de
Mayo.
Mayo.
We mailed, Jeff Wolf was able to get a discount card
from a restaurant. And so we made copies, he made this card, and we put our business cards on the back and mailed out a 20% gift card.
Two Rivers just mentioned that. in the
Yeah.
last meeting.
That would have been way easier than, I mean, mine were good. I
Oh,
did
yeah.
margarita kits, but having to drive
Oh, yeah,
like a
that's- I'm telling
bajillion
you,
miles to
yeah.
deliver margarita kits. Here's your drink on me. It was
One thing I would
time
do,
consuming. Yeah, but you can't, I could mail.
No, but I'm saying, like,
Yes.
think of an idea you can mail. 'cause
Yeah.
You can mail it to us.
It's a great
Right.
idea,
Yeah.
but it's just a pain.
and one thing I did when I did pop buys too, I don't know if you guys do the same, is I would find something that's, what's the word I'm looking for, like evergreen, like you can use it anytime kind of thing, so it's not specific to the time of year. And it's also, again, what's the word? It can't go bad if it's hot outside,
Yes.
right? So I would like pre-make like 20 of those, and if I was in the area already of a past client, then I would do the little pop by. So it's like you're kind of just holding on to it until you need them kind of thing.
And we also, for May, we mailed out packages of seeds. How much
Seeds.
were they?
Of
20 bucks?
April,
And how much were
that was
they?
April.
Okay, like
Yeah,
25.
for $1.
dollar
Fantastic.
store.
You make
favorite.
my business bloom.
That's cute.
Love it.
That's cute.
That is really cute.
There's all sorts of stuff on Pinterest.
As I say,
and Google,
Pinterest is like
I
another,
mean,
like talk about tools. Pinterest is another idea. You can get content ideas for posts. You can get content ideas for pop buys. You can get
Yeah.
infographics. R&C or R&D, rip off and duplicate.
Do you
In
ever
Etsy,
do,
right?
Yeah.
do you like
don't-
giveaways, you know, like when I've seen friends do it?
The ones that
Well,
are using
people
my
with really
template.
big followings that do like a giveaway and it's like sharing your,
Mhm.
following, you know, like. do you
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, we just did one a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, this Fireworks is similar to that.
It's
And I
similar,
copied
but-
Mariana's, but I got your permission.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, we do
Yes.
giveaways, not just to our VIP, like I said, but we'll do giveaways for like liking and sharing and commenting and stuff. Yeah.
Giveaways
That's
are
another way to,
helpful.
to
Yeah.
grow your,
that's
your
just-
following.
But I don't do it that often. I wouldn't do it all the time. I mean, it's a lot of money, but yeah, every now and then it gets people excited.
I know, I
so.
haven't done one. I need to.
What's
I
your
did-
favorite giveaway?
I did
Um,
one for Christmas
oh.
or Black Friday.
I think yours was the best. And I talked about it on the coaching call today because you did 4 options. So like the winner got to pick like
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the 4 different things.
Yeah,
I like that
fun.
better than just picking like one big prize because there, no matter what you pick, there's gonna be someone that doesn't want that.
Right.
Whereas like with 4 options, it increases like, oh, like I don't want that, but I really want that other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And then if I do a gift card, I always do a choice, like.
Yeah.
So they pick.
Yeah.
whatever.
And I did
What
a,
price point are you giving away?
For the December giveaway, it was like 150, I think. And then if it's like, I did a recent or what was it?
Your Buyer Blitz was one.
Yeah,
50.
that one was $50. And then I've done like a raffle for reviews for like my sphere
Yep.
or clients.
I did
And I
that.
did 50, I think.
So
Just
I,
be careful because if you're asking for referrals, there is a max amount that you can do. And I think that is $50 for referral.
I think, yeah, it's like a year ago.
well,
and I
you
think
can claim 25%, like, or $25 of that on taxes. Is that what you mean?
No, so
Oh.
the maximum
the
agent
rule,
is
the
allowed
track
to
rule,
pay,
got it.
yeah, so it's a track
Got
rule. If you're paying for a referral, like paying someone to give you a referral, like a
Yeah.
referral fee to a non-agent, the max you can do is $50.
50, yeah, which is, yeah, more, I mean, I usually do that or less, 25 bucks.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I do like kind of what Maggie was saying, pick it, usually it's like 25, depending on what it is I'm having them do, right? If it's just them liking the page or comment or whatever, it's 25 bucks, or maybe sometimes $5. Like I'll do a random one. I'll do a little next coffee on me. So like Starbucks coffee, $5 gift card. So you can do that. It's like next coffee on me. All you have to do is post a picture of your kids back to school. We'll do that in our VIP page. And again, it's just getting engagement. So that way they are seeing more of our posts later on. So you can do $5, or if I wouldn't do a $5 gift card, I would do like a Starbucks gift card, 50, 25, whatever. But my favorite was we did like, if you've got, like I hadn't had a ton of testimonies, like I hadn't collected a ton from my clients in the past. So like we had like a drawing for a Nest thermostat. So it was like $200, so a bigger one, but they got an entry if they posted to Facebook, an entry if they posted to Google, an entry if they posted to, I think we did like realtor.com. And then another entry if they, 5 entries if they sent us a video. So it was like all these different, that's where we built a lot of our testimonies. And then for 200 bucks, I mean, now we've got these testimonies that I really wanted. So this is really great, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions before we wrap up? Cool. All right. I think the five of us should get a picture.
Yeah, we should.
So
I
fantastic.
said lost,
Yes.
or what did I say earlier? I said wins and losers, I meant losses.
Wins and
I
loses.
said wins and loses, I meant losses.
I
Thank you.
understood
So
you.
weird.
Got the dream team up here.
Yeah. we
Okay.
need it.
All right. Thank you, everyone on
Thank you
Zoom.
all. Oh, yes.
Yes.
How do I turn this off?
So everyone, we'll post, we'll do a Facebook post between those of us that are talking about like our gimbal, ring lights, all of that. We'll do a Facebook post that has all that information. And then they can also, for everyone on Zoom that's not seeing them writing their handles up here, they can also post their Instagram handles on the Facebook group.